It is a great pleasure to welcome to the Book Talk segment today. A woman has written a really interesting, fascinating book about her life, and also hopefully will help everybody that reads it. It's called Exponential Living. Stop spending 100% of your time on 10% of who you are. Very talented woman, entrepreneur in the recording business. We'll find out about that as well. And Sheri Riley joins us by telephone now. And Sheri, good to talk with you. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, good to have a chance to chat with you, an opportunity to read through the book. First of all, as a radio guy, I know on your end of the business, when you were in the recording industry and the record business, it's a lot of work, and we thank you for that. We need people like you in that business to give us stuff to play on the air.
But thank you. Yes, it is definitely a mutual relationship.
That's it. We had a lot of record folks that would come into the stations over the years, but you worked with some of the real top stars of the 90s, Tony Braxton, Usher, just to name a couple there. So you're right in the middle of the music scene for a long time, weren't you?
Yes, and it was a wonderful time. I mean, it was revolutionary. Music was being delivered, and radio was just on fire. It was a great time in the industry.
LaFace Records, I'm pronouncing that right? Out of Atlanta?
Yes,
and,
yes.
But that's kind of the crux of the book. It was kind of your dream job. I know you from reading the book, you'd always wanted to do that type of work, but after a while, you said there's got to be something more, right? You were kind of not having a personal life, were you?
Yeah, the career was amazing. It was great, but I literally had narrowed my life down to this 10% of who I was. The career had become 100% in that 10%. And I realized there was so much more to me that I just wasn't tapping into on a regular basis. And it's kind of hard to get 100% of your fulfillment out of this narrow 10% of who you are.
I guess a lot of people, maybe more so nowadays, it seems, than 15, 20 years ago. People, obviously, you need a job to pay the bills, but people tend to kind of put more emphasis on that than other parts of their life where they probably should have emphasis, right? Is that what you think?
Yes, it is. Because when I transitioned, or when I came into this awareness, I was an anomaly. I mean, people are looking at me like, "Are you kidding me right now? Like, you're going to leave this money?" And so, but I have witnessed the shift where more people in their 40s, 50s are a lot more open and aware to this reality. And honestly, a lot of the millennials in 20s and 30s are coming into it going, you know what, I don't want just the money. I do want the full experience on this journey called life. And so the timing for the book is really perfect.
Was there one particular thing or day that you were at your desk or wherever you were at the time that said, I've got to make a change today, or was it kind of a gradual thing?
Leaving LaFace was a very immediate, it was a moment stamped in time. Mm-hmm. It was actually at a video shoot. Lisa Left Eye Lopez, God rest her soul. I was with her at a video shoot. She was a guest artist on someone else's video. And it was just everything that I knew I needed to exit from was just happening in this moment. And I really realized I was just at the end. I had no more to give. And when I left West Palm Beach, that's where we were shooting the video, I flew back to Atlanta, and I literally just kind of took 2 days off. I didn't do anything. And when I kind of came out of that cocoon over those couple of days, I called Antonio L.A. Reid, who was the co-owner of LaFace Records, and told him it was time for me to resign. And he said he wasn't shocked. He just kind of knew that at some point that was going to be a reality. And I called Babyface after I talked with him and told him the same thing. And they were very, very receptive. We've all remained very good friends after that.
Once you made that decision and you told the people that you needed to tell in your work, what did you do right then? Did you kind of a little buyer's remorse, or were you more at peace?
I was at peace, and I had Usher's biggest, his hit record, You Make Me Wanna, was about to come out.
Right.
And so I committed. I had to do everything I was supposed to do to make sure that record was set up, and I did that. There was a resounding peace and calm. Now, my dad thought I had a nervous breakdown because he was like, "Who leaves a great job?" But I knew it. I felt such a sense of peace, and I never had one moment where I had buyer's remorse. I never had a moment where it was like, "What did I do?" It was always, "What am I going to do next?" That was always kind of the feeling that I had. Okay, now what are you going to do next?
And that, of course, led to the book. What was your process at that point? Did you just kind of write down what you were thinking at the time and build the book from that, or how did it come about?
Well, I was journaling, and it wasn't journaling to write a book. It was just really wanting to see and read my own thoughts. And after I left LaFace, I started another business, Glued, which I had for 17 years. And kind of during the course of having that business, I began to see this pattern where, I was living these principles, learning these principles for myself. This was just how I was surviving to not go back to that 10% reality. But a lot of my friends started calling me and was, "Hey, Sheri, I'm making $500,000 a year, but I'm miserable, and I can't talk about this to anybody but you,"
Right.
And I just started sharing with them what I was doing, never thinking it was anything more than that. And it was working for them the way it was working for me. And so over time, as I began to feel the joy that I was having and seeing other tough situations and really being empowered by these principles is when I really got serious around, wow, this is a message that needs to get out to more people, and that's what allowed me to really focus in on a book.
And you break it down into some simple steps that people can follow. And I used to just talk about a couple of them right now. I like the one, build lasting confidence, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. A lot of people have trouble with that, but once you do that, it does give you added confidence, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And for so many of us, we're driven, but we're not really confident. And many of us don't even realize there's a difference, between our drive and our confidence.
Right.
And so our drive is what allows us to get up and do the work and make things happen. Our confidence is who we are when we get there. And a lot of times, we can be very successful in our careers, but truly have very limited confidence. And I've ran into that a lot with a lot of high achievers.
Was there one thing that happened to you that maybe surprised you a little bit once you made this choice to do this that they didn't expect in your own life?
Oh my
like
goodness,
that?
yes. So many examples. I'd have to pick one. I thought I would be a manager. That's what I thought I was going to do. And the journey literally was just curves and turns through the whole thing. So much of it has been a surprise along the way. Yes.
Well, it's a great book, very inspirational book, again, called Exponential Living. And we've been talking with Sheri Riley. And Sheri, give out a website if you have one. People can get more information about you or the book.
Yes, I would love to connect on my website, Sheri Riley, SHERI RILEY. That's also my Instagram and my Twitter. And the book is available on hardcover, ebook, as well as audiobook, and you can go to your local Barnes & Noble or your local bookstore, Amazon.com, Target.com, as well as iBooks and Audible.
Great. Sheri, appreciate you taking the time. Again, congratulations on the book, and we'll hopefully talk to you again down the road, but thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
I'm Stan Brock. 30 years ago, I formed Remote Area Medical to help people overseas. But then we found generations of families in America isolated by poverty from the health care they need. Together, we can take dental, vision, and medical help to 1 million adults and their kids, right here at home in the United States of America.
If you'd like to order the book we're talking about, please go to DougMilesMedia.com and enter the author's name in the Amazon search box. Thank you for listening. Please come back soon for more conversations here at DougMilesMedia.com. This has been a presentation of Doug Miles Media, all rights reserved. You can listen to or download previous programs at iTunes, Stitcher.com, or Doug Miles Media.